Hey guys, good morning. So it's been a while since I've done a car chat, and that's because it's been a while since I've used my car. But I'm driving to work today, and the snow is mostly melted. The big mountains that people pile the snow on are still there, but it's not too bad. So I think I'll have a good time, an easy time, finding a spot by my school. So yeah, now it's March, right? March 2nd. And I am like wanting to talk about my numbers. Well, let me fix this thing right here. Because I finally finished paying off Sophia's tuition for the spring. And that was a big chunk of money. Like, that was a lot to come up with in a short span of time. And I couldn't save at all. And I drained my high yield savings account. So my immediate goal is to replenish that account and not only get it up to the amount that I need to pay for Sophia's tuition in August, but to actually be above that. So when that time comes, I'm not draining it fully. Add to that the fact that I do need to pay for this trip to France in the summer. And that one is a pretty penny, right? It's costing me some money because France, specifically the Paris portion of the trip, it's not cheap. Especially if you want to be doing it not on such a tight budget. Like, I'm not staying at, budget hotels. They're not 5-star hotels. They are 2-star hotels or 3-star hotels. Actually, no, I think one of them is a 2-star. The other one is a 4-star, 3 or 4-star. And you might be concerned about a 2-star hotel, but honestly, in Europe, 2-star is good. The only downside to 2-star, if it matters to you, is that there's usually no TV in the room at all. And I don't watch TV, so sorry. I don't really watch TV, so that's not an issue for me. Oops, sorry, turn on the radio. So that's like fine. It's a very comfortable place, and it's usually much more cozy. It's cozier. So I honestly, I prefer it. And it saves money. It's not as expensive. So far, on just the Paris portion, now I'm going to Paris twice. One stay cost me about $500 or $600, and that's for 3 nights. And the other one was more expensive because this was the nicer one, quote unquote, 4-star, and that one is going to cost me about $700 and something. So yeah, but that's the biggest expense of the trip, I think, so far. Bordeaux, I'll find a place. It's not going to be, I don't need an expensive place, and Bordeaux is not expensive. So I was already looking around, and I can get 4 nights for a total of $500, $600. So that's going to be fine. And it won't be as difficult to find a place. So I'm trying to break that up into months so that I'm not bunching everything up at the same time, because again, at the end of this bank statement, at the end of my credit card statements, I want to be able to pay off the full amount. I do not want to carry anything over and have to incur interest on that. That's money down the drain. So I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that what I'm spending is something that I can end up paying off at the end of the statement period. And that's important to me. I have not been able to do that for much of the time in my past years, and only in the recent couple of years, actually. I'm very fortunate to say, I think maybe 2 years, I've been able to fully pay off my bank statement. I keep on saying bank statement. I meant my credit card statement every month. So yeah, so I want to continue doing that while also increasing my retirement, right, my pension donation allocation by 1% every few months. Right now I'm at 11%, which is okay. I really, I really wish I could do more immediately, because I spent so many years not contributing to it in significant, like, actually, I think the years I was at Christ the King, I couldn't afford to contribute to any retirement because I needed all that money just to survive. And I barely survived. Like, I was just, scraping along, and I made it work. But at the same time, like, I'm not saving for retirement. So I'm doing my best to catch up on that now, to put myself in the best position I can for when I retire, because I do plan to retire on time, no matter what. So, yeah. That's the deal. And of course, I always, take into account any purchases that I want to make for myself, because I do have some interests and I have things that I want to acquire for my everyday life that I don't want to give up at this point in my life. I've already made my sacrifices, so I'm not going to go nuts, but I do want to indulge my inner self, as I find this interesting. I want to rock this look. I want to be kind of like out there a little bit now with my style and with my fun. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I want to do it responsibly, obviously. I think I can do both. Like, the goal in my life is to be able to do everything I want to do. Like, not in a crazy way, in a balanced way, but I want to do everything I want to do. I want to travel, but I still want to buy the lovely fashion pieces that I'm interested in a way that works for my life. So yeah, I have to now make sure I have all my finances in place for the next couple of months, so that I can put that money together for Sophia's tuition, which is due, bottom line, in October. I can start paying it in August. And so I plan to have it such that I can put the installments I need to put in on there. August, September, and October. That's the goal, while still paying for my trips. That's important to me. And right now, I have been doing 7 forms of income. Like, I recently saw a YouTube where it talks about, like, how do millionaires have money, and it's because they make a lot of passive income. So how do we make it so that I have passive income coming in while I'm making active income, right? Where I'm working for it, versus the money is just growing on its own without me doing any work to it, right? So my main, and I think I have 7, or I have 6, 5 to 6, and I'm making it a 7 once I fill my high yield savings account. So I have my active teacher income. That's my base income I get as a teacher, no problem. Then I have the income I'm making by taking on an extra class. Now, some people might say, well, that's part of your regular income. I would actually categorize that separately, because that is not part of my base pay. I'm getting paid extra to take on an extra class. That's not part of my regular work. Then on top of that, I run 3 clubs a week. That's 3. I'm making extra income on that. I was making then I make extra income on my algebra tutoring, which I do. It's not consistent. I do it every break. They offer some hours of tutoring. I did it during winter break, and I recorded it with you. So that's extra income. And I had been doing substitute work in the beginning of I'm going to actually have to find a quick spot. And just take it, because I honestly, is this a Tuesday? I can't stay here. All right. I'm going to have to run in. So let me just go ahead and run in, and then I think I'm going to come back out and move my car. So yeah, so then in the beginning of the year, I was doing substitute like coverages. So when teachers are absent, oh, bag of the day, I'm doing my coach. I'm doing coverages for teachers, which is when they are unexpectedly absent. Oh, hi, good morning. When they are sorry, I had to hold my phone in a weird way. Where they are unexpectedly absent and they need other teachers to cover the classes. Yeah, they call me all of a sudden out of nowhere, and I get paid for that time. So I would call that a fourth one. The fifth one, like I said, is my retirement account, my TRS. I can technically borrow from it, but I'm gonna try my best not to, unless I need to take it for Sophia's tuition. But that one is making money for me, right, on the side. All of those retirement accounts, I'm gonna lump them into one. And then my last one, my seventh one, I think it's 7, is gonna be my high yield savings account. Now, if I put money in there, it's gonna grow money every month. And the more money, the more growth. So my goal is to really pack that in so that it starts growing, it starts multiplying, compounding, right? Compounding interest. And that's the key to the game. Future forms of income, streams of income would be, I don't know if eventually this YouTube channel will get monetized with AdSense or something like that. That will be another stream of income that I will just put directly towards Sophia's student loans, because she's gonna have $19,000 in student loans. Hopefully that's as high as we get. I'm gonna try and get her not to take out any student loans for her last year. I'm gonna try and pay it all myself. So, but she'll still have to pay those student loans, so I'll use that money towards that. I have my artwork that I'm gonna have hopefully a gallery showing this summer, and other connections to make money off of my art. And let's see if I can make that work, and maybe do some algebra and geometry courses online, or do New York City guides. So those are my ideas. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Have a great day.